All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BNR Racing Network, brought to you by the Throwback Thursday Madness 87 series tonight as these drivers head into Rockingham, a phenomenal Rockingham. So, 135 laps here this evening. So, we're going to try to bring you a good race. Um, a lot of rough surface, so as they get ready to race number 2 here tonight. Very rough surface as these drivers take on here tonight. A wild, intense finish at Daytona. So the lobby is set up correct to where they will not have no green white checkers at all. So it'll end exactly 135. So they get a caution within there, and then that's where it'll be. So currently at top of the board is Brock Page, then Richards. As the 48 loses it in qualifying, as he would go to a backup car. And Brock Page will continue to sit on top of the board here. So Brock Page still on top of the board with a 25.06. You see Mr. Yates is out there. I'll go over a little race information here as these drivers still go around. So currently in Rockingham, North Carolina. I forgot the G. We'll fix that. Don't know how I forget all that. Much apologies here. That's a disgrace. There we go. So Rockingham 135. 135. So so it's a mile track. Current track temp is 89 degrees. Weather out itself is 76 degrees, 41% humidity. It is partly cloudy with a 7-mile-per-hour wind. And it's 135 laps, not 100. My apologies again, which leaves them with 135 miles. 70% fuel, 4 sets of tires, and 1 quick fix. So it's going to be a wild one. I do believe only 8 drivers did qualify. So interesting go here. Excited to have this series running, and just ready to see what these fellers have here. Let's see if I can talk to one of the competitors here before. Let's see if we talk to Joe real quick. Mr. Joe.
How's it going?
It is going all right. So I see you're going to be starting in the back, which is fine, absolutely fine. So The track surface, how would you say it is?
Um, there's a big bump going in the middle of 3 or 4 that will really upset the car if you go low.
Yes, sir.
Other than that, the rest of the surface it grips up pretty good, but they're going to be a handful. They're a little tight, and some guys at the end of practice still hadn't quite figured out what they were going to do yet. So I just chose to run in the back. I didn't get a chance to run around a lot of cars during practice, so I was going to take my time and see what we can do with this.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to get you back up there. Best of luck to you tonight, sir. And hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end.
All right. Yeah, I'll have a good one. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So the starting grid, P1 would be Peter. P2 would be Mr. Page himself. P3 would be Robert Richards. P4 would be Mr. Carter. P5 would be Huck Wigginton. P6 would be Darrell Whitford. P7 would be Brandon Yates. P8 would be Paul Lawson. P9 would be Philip Bridgman. P10 would be Josh Small. P11 would be Chris Camary. P12 would be Aaron Bradford. P13 would be Chris Campbell. P14 would be Kyle Gooden. P15 would be Craig Bridge. Joe Stipe, P16.
Yes, indeed. This evening, Brian, Rockingham.
Yes. Very bumpy, as you heard Joe talking about. We'll go to the tower this week. And 135 laps, well, that's 135 miles. So, very
Yes,
tight
indeed. Good
surface.
stout field. Oh yeah, very very tight. It narrows up in the corners. It's a narrow track in and of itself as well. On the back straightaway, it may not look like it, but it is fairly narrow, especially when you get into these funnel-like corners at times. That pace car gonna dive off here.
Yes, sir. And just like that, Peter is going to lead the field green. Just like that, green flag is out, Will, as these drivers get ready to take on 135 laps at the good old Rockingham.
Very, very close. We got some bumping and banging going on further back on the exit of turn 2 as they're trying to get it all straightened out going through the field here. You can get a really good arc into the corner if you just keep trying to go as straight as possible. That is, take that middle to high lane, or just a higher lane off that bottom lane. But
Little do we know,
at the
Will,
moment,
I'm sorry. And just like that, we got a car on the wall. We got 25. Bradford is in the wall. Josh on the apron there. A little contact has been made, Will. Don't know how much of a lick that did to Josh, but...
yeah, we kind of caught that at the end of it, but that looks like John Tiller. Oh, more chaos going on further back in the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah.
This should be our first caution of the evening, as work on getting a replay here. I believe it all started with Tiller getting into the corner here in turn 1. The car just...
That's Craig.
Well, my apologies.
No, you're good. So you see here, we carrying that much momentum through the turn, Will. It's going to get that rear to slip, and just like that, as we see Craig here, sliding that rear end, getting sideways, going into the turn. As 33 goes up, he tried to save her. I guess the one car kind of did sort of the same thing. Oh, that was another whole deal behind.
Yeah, we had synchronized accidents going on.
You see there, there's Chris Camary in the wall back there. And then the one hit the wall, just came off the wall, took Chris with him, and that's that. Good miss by Campbell. Good locking the brakes by the one to get off track there. So that is going to bring out your first caution of the night there. Well,
Yeah, it looked like what you said. The one just kind of ricocheted out of the wall, and Chris unfortunately just happened to be there at the wrong time. Now, these cars are drivers this evening. Did you get them? Did you give them two quick fixes or only one this week?
I gave him one this week.
Okay, so one quick fix. So they still, early goings. Caution lap 3, I believe it was, but one quick fix. I mean, everybody still has a shot. It is really early on to take that shot in the arm, but go ahead, get that car repaired, get back out there. Like what we were talking about, this is a pretty bumpy track. Rockingham, it's been around since 1965, so it's not on the current NASCAR schedule or on any schedule that I'm aware of, but hopefully things will be changing as far as that goes soon, because they just repaved this track not too long ago. But still, other work still needs to be done and so forth. Richard Petty holds the most wins here with 11. Notable things happening as far as the final race with Casey Kane and Matt Kenseth.
So once again, the pace car is off. Green flag is back
indeed.
out.
Down there to the safety on confines of pit road.
You got ready. Too many good camera views here on this side of things, but come back here.
Oh, more trouble going on further back.
Look like Kyle Gooden and Craig there.
Bridge had just saved his automobile before the caution came out, if I'm not mistaken. The time before. So let's see what happened here to Kyle.
I wonder if Chris gave him a little... nudge. Oh, that was netcode.
Yes, indeed, Uncle Netcode rears an ugly head tonight. Chris did have a good run there, coming with fresh tires with that fast repair that he had used, but I don't know if they wouldn't have touched regardless with the netcode because of how difficult the race. You don't think they would have?
No.
I think coming up out of the corner, I think
maybe a little
just
bit.
how close. Yeah, I think they might have would have rubbed, but I don't know if all that would have been happening. But yeah, netcode, just such a sad thing to see anytime, any place, any track. And a breeding caution happening at the moment as well.
So Peter and Will is still leading this field.
Still didn't get clarification of how to pronounce his last name.
Now, well, if he wins, we'll probably be able to talk to him and get the pronunciation of it. So hopefully he finishes.
That would
be wonderful,
yes.
wouldn't it?
Wonderful. That's the first thing we're going to ask him.
So second caution here tonight, only 10 laps in. Peter is holding the best view. I wish I can talk to him if he was in here, but he's not. We ain't got Carter. We ain't got Brock. Maybe Josh will go. Let's see if we can get a hold of Josh here. If there's time. Mr. Josh.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, sir?
It's a handful.
I'm sure. So how's the car feeling at the moment? I think you guys are coming to one degree.
Yeah, we're coming on green. We got plenty of time. It's not too bad. It's just it's tight and then it loosens up and then you just lose grip in the front. You gotta lift. You gotta lift so early, and then you gotta you gotta use so much brake for so long. And some of these guys they're having a hard time. That's what everybody's complaining about right now. But just told them give each other room, and hopefully we can get some green flag racing in.
Yes, sir. Well, you got anything for Josh before we send him on his way?
Which lane are you preferring at the moment to be in, Josh? Which is comfortable for you?
The middle, so that way I got, if I make an error like I did, I ran underneath my teammate there, and luckily we both come out with minimal damage. But I'm running the middle right now because I feel like the car is best handling there. But top side is favorable right now because that's where everybody's carrying their speed. So
right, sir.
We'll see what happens.
Luck to you. We'll get you back up there and enjoy.
Yes, sir.
I love Josh. He can just sometimes be like me or you. We can just have that can't seem to know when to not talk syndrome. So Jacob had a very fumbly start. He's going to log jam the field. Don't know what's going to become of that, but
they're all right now at the moment.
Don't know who does or does not have front end or rear end fascia damage on their cars. We will figure that out as we go, I'm assuming. But, yep, trying to just get in proceedings here. Kyle Gooden's still in the pits. He's just now left the pits. Craig coming back into the pits. What?
Craig Bridge?
Yes, Craig Bridge. So, interesting little battle scuffus up at the front. 52, 62, and the 88 machine.
Brock's got the run, but just can't capitalize Will to get by the 53. He's doing everything in his God Almighty to get there, but unfortunately, just really can't make that move.
Nope, and it's really Rockingham is a very big momentum-based track, good rhythm track, and if you can't find a rhythm or your momentum, then you're kind of just really out of luck that entire race.
I would agree with
you. Here.
So Jacob Carter finessing a little bit on that bottom there, trying to hug the yellow line, but can't quite get there. A little bit too much bumpy, so he's finessing
so let's take a moment and look through the field here.
That's fine. So there we go. We'll just do our little rundown. So P1, we got Peter here. Will, very strong force here. I do believe a lot older gentleman, I would assume. He's currently sitting P1. Following by him is a young fella, Brock Page. You and I know Brock Page very well. A very hard charger early on and about medium to long run pace. You've called a lot of races with him in the cup side of things, so you know how well he can be. Next
Indeed,
up,
very.
yep, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was
I was
saying
just
that,
going to say, yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to hit
Next,
you, Brad.
go ahead. Next up is Jacob Carter. We know him very well too. Um, he normally tends to carry, what'd you say, about average pace at the moment.
Yes, I would. Yes. Jacob's a good racer. He normally has that medium to almost long run speed. He almost it almost depends on the track for Jacob, I'd have to say.
I would have to agree with you too. P4 is Mr. Robert Richards here, a newcomer to our side of things here. Looks like he's pacing himself, getting used to the track, letting the car build up as much, heating the tires, or he could just be trying to learn the track well. You know, this track can be very difficult for most.
Rockingham is a very difficult track, and in general, it's a track you really have to back up your corner entry to have that turn through the corner that you need to get the drive off as well. So that could be what he's doing. Also, just setting a fine pace for him. He's only almost 3 seconds. He's only 2 and some seconds off the lead. So back here to the 00 and the 97 having a good tussle for 5th position as Brock Page just takes the lead away from the 53 of Peter.
Yes, sir. P5 at the moment, Will, is Huck Wigginton. Another newcomer to our side of things here. Like to see what he can do in a longer run. Chasing that 5th place down is Philip Bridgman. You know, Philip, he gets that early run pace and then tends to start drifting off, but it looks like he's carrying it pretty well as we were going through the field, but we have a caution. Well,
I'll just have to wait and see what the caution's for. Looks like the 42 Copenhagen car of Lawson.
yes, sir. Looks like very tight. Trying to. Looks like you got a broke tire there. Little hit in the rear from Chris.
Oh,
Oof.
we have a handful of cars that have got caught up in this one. All starts with the 42 of Lawson, just couldn't get the car to turn in turn 1 and 2 there, and just all around, just Josh Mall on board here, going through the corner. He's going to back it down, but he gets sideways on the brakes, and
Somebody
bam,
saved
here
him
comes...
from.
Well, yeah, somebody saved him, but he also got some, I would say, a decent amount of damage, and he's also going to fall a lap down on board with the Folgers machine. At the moment, not sure. Okay, Aaron Bradford in the Folgers machine. This happens right in front of him. He sees it happening, but Rockingham, excuse me, is similar to Bristol in the aspect of you see corner entry, but you don't know what's happening on the exit of the corner type of deal. And on board now with Christopher Campbell.
That's who saved Josh.
Yep, I was about to say that earlier. So Campbell, oh man, almost had it clear, but then Josh is rolling down the track after Josh said, "Hey, I'm gonna get on the brakes and become part of this." I didn't want to be part of it, but could have been the piece of debris that he ran over, could have bottomed him out or something to where he spins out completely down the track sideways more, you know what I mean? More than just getting on the brakes hard and down into Campbell. Campbell would have had it clear, but like I said,
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, Lawson. You're doing good. You were trying to avoid everything. Like I said, it's a tough track. A lot of learning going on throughout the field. So just keep your head high and fix up the car, go back out there, and and do your thing.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it was truly anybody's fault. Just looked like more so a racing deal. Just car behind wasn't prepared for the problem that the person in front of him could have been having. And just the reaction time, perhaps, of Chris at that moment, could have been just, we saw from previous onboards, that it looked like it was all of a sudden type of thing, Chris was behind him, just almost already committed, but.
Oh yeah. So, pace car is about to pull off here, as Peter is still leading. Phillip in second.
53.97.100 stays out. Maybe the 48 as well. And then everybody else pits behind them. Page, Carter, Campbell, Whitford, everybody on down comes in and pits.
So we have a tussle up here.
And the 00 and 48 get kind of trapped behind Craig Bridge there in the 94 as the 1 having some problems and being a bit difficult to navigate by as well. Yates there. I think Yates is just trying to stay out the way, but do so on the lead lap after the type of troubles he's had so far already tonight.
Oh yeah. Wigginton and that 00 Krispy Kreme machine hanging out P7 there. So you see there Jacob Carter looking to pass Phillip Bridgman.
Yeah, Brock and Jacob kind of passing guys at the moment with the fresh tire. Everybody else kind of looking like they're standing still, but like I said, fresh tire compared to old, especially here at Rockingham, it will make a difference. It will look dramatically different, especially for at least 10 laps or so. Rockingham's one of those tracks that has a really rough, abrasive surface, especially on the tires, how old the surface is. You see 00 making his way by the 1 now.
Oh yeah.
94 of Craig Bridge. He still has pace in that car, just multiple laps down at the moment. Once you get a lap down with the 87 rules, it's kind of hard to make it back up, but it is possible. But 7 laps down is almost uncalled for back, as far as you almost never see that getting back as far as the rule set goes. Joe Stipe in the 33 Hal Needham owned Skull Bandit car there.
Oh yeah. Looks pretty nice out there. It's got a little clean at the moment.
And Harry Gant. Skull Bandit 33 car, so fresh tires has caught up to the front of the field, to the race leader Peter in the 53 machine. Jacob Carter in tow with Brock Page.
So next time by will be Exactly 100 laps to go.
Yes, indeed, 100 laps to go now at the line. So, could fresh tires be the thing that truly gets by? Can Brock use that to his advantage to get by Peter, but had to really check up there in turn 1 and 2. Is he going to try the outside here? Can't quite seem to get it to bite.
Brock looks to make the pass on the inside.
Yes,
Jacob's
indeed,
going to try to
Jacobs.
go with him. But Peter's going to give it to him. Sure, go ahead. You guys go. Oh, his car hits the wall.
Yep, Jacob hit the bump coming out of turn 2, and it slung his car up just a few feet up the track into the wall. Not sure how much damage that will be. Probably not too much, but he has fresh tires. He should be able to stay ahead of the 53 here now, so... Like I said, about 28 lap fresher tires, I do believe. That is the difference here on the 6288 compared to the 53 that they just passed. And also the 97 at Bridgman, who's in 4th position, 7 seconds back of this. Joe Stipe getting by the 00, moving him into 6th place. So Wigington and Stipe having that battle for 6th and 7th going on. Josh Small battles with the one machine of Yates as Yates is falling further back. That is 9th and 10th. Josh getting up into 9th position.
Yeah, then Campbell makes the pass on Yates to secure that P10 at the moment. 40 of 135 in the books, Will.
So Jacob Carter is all over the back of Brock Page at the moment. He's ran back down Brock and past Brock, so Jacob has really found that outside lane, really good arc with that outside lane he's found in 3 and 4. Is he going to do the same thing in 1 and 2? No, he does not. Does the bottom lane in 1 and 2, so I've seen this lane done before loads of times. It's very, very good to do here at Rockingham. Loads of speed up here in 3 and 4 like this. Very good running the top. It's a good lane to do here at Rockingham. One of the cooler tracks, one of the cooler lines to do our kind of show. There goes Joe getting into the top 5.
As he passes Philip Bridgman there.
Joe kind of almost opposite with what Jacob's doing. But Brock's kind of committed to that middle to bottom lane. He doesn't look like Brock wants to kind of go up there. He wants to be more so in the middle to bottom lane. He feels more comfortable with that. Looking back here to
Bradford.
Yes, Aaron Bradford. That is the lap down car of Kyle Gooden, who is 4 laps down. I thought that was a battle for a moment, but is not. That's just Bradford. 8th place riding there.
Looks like Kyle figured out his momentum that he needed. Now getting used to the track.
I'd love a good cup of Folgers coffee right about now. Kyle, just kind of sucks for Kyle and a couple of other guys. Like they were just trying to figure it out and got caught up in some stuff here early on, and like we talked about, it's hard to recover after you get trapped or get caught up in something. for Campbell in the 68 in 10th place is in jeopardy of going one lap down to the battling Carter and Page up here in the lead. Like I said, Brock is really comfortable with this bottom lane. It's really working for him, but Carter's getting the run off the top lane down the front straightaway here. And when you have somebody battling you in the inside, you can't get to that lane that you've been using, and somebody's going to use Campbell here as a pick, and it's going to be Brock. Brock, that's going to benefit Page more, as Carter's going to have to try to get back to him on the bottom. Brock's going to shut off that window of opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, he is there, Will, as he gets by Mr. Carter himself.
You know, Peter's done a pretty decent job, maintaining a decent gap. He can still see them out of his windshield, no doubt, on the straightaways. So, even with, the 30 lap, might as well say 30 lap older tire that he has, he's still within reason. If they have a mistake, if they have a get together, he's there to capitalize. Hopefully, not be involved in it, but still, he's still within a decent window of strategy-wise. I unfortunately didn't get the memo of fuel mileage this evening, so what is the percentage that you give these?
70.
70? Okay, so if I can just remember a real-life fuel run from this era, give me a moment. I'm going to say, 70. That might be a bit too much, but yeah, probably too much. Let me see, 52, perhaps. I mean, we know all these drivers have to make us at least one pit stop for fuel. We should have asked Josh whenever, and I wasn't thinking. Obviously.
So Josh is in danger to go a lap down here, Will.
Yes, he is the next. Good point. You make a valid point. 26 and a half, 27 seconds it takes to get around here, if I'm not mistaken. So 28 seconds at least. So yes, you are correct. Josh is the next one. Then it would be Philip Bridgman. He's 23 and a half seconds back. So
Carter's not letting Rock get too far away. He still has him right in his sights there.
yeah, he's still there, that's for sure. Carter's only. Oh, goodness gracious. Carter's only. You gotta.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to
You get. Yeah. Yeah, Carter's only dropping a second and a quarter back to Brock Page's lead here, so could just be that that longevity Brock Page that we know he's good for, rearing its I don't want to say ugly head, but rearing its head to maybe be the dominant car here this evening, the dominant factor. maybe all he needed was clean air to get ahead of the 53 of Peter. They saw the one of Yates down on the apron struggling to maintain pace. He pulled it into pit road. A lot of these guys just kind of learning iRacing, or not necessarily learning iRacing, but maybe not perhaps driving these cars as much. So that's a learning curve in and of itself. If you're used to, say, just driving the trucks, or say a pro late model car, super late model, Whelen modified, something to that extent. Each car is going to handle different. Big moment for Phillip. He ran out of track coming out of turn 2 the prior lap.
Oh, yeah.
60 laps into this race, and the pole sitter is sitting in third place, almost 4 seconds off the current race leader, Brock Page, who sat on the outside pole. Currently leading this race. Yes, putting the 00 1 lap down, so currently lapped everybody up to 6th place. Aaron Bradford, the next car to go 1 lap down. So they're getting around here. Brock's getting about 27 seconds, just over 27 seconds.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was whenever he just lapped Wigington.
Brock Page starting to work on Bradford there. That's his next victim. As the 42, you see there, gets a little loose. Saves her, keeps her going.
Did he get loose, or yeah, he got loose. I was going to say, I hope he wasn't coming out of the pits, because he would have got a penalty for, yeah, what a save. Good save, Lawson. I think he might have just turned in a bit too early there, or maybe the car just turned too good for him at that point. That's one of those sayings I like to say from time to time. Just whenever it looks like the car just turned too good. But yeah, what a good catch there by Lawson. Might be 12 laps down, but still out there learning what the car is capable of doing.
Like we said here, Bradford now in danger of going 1 lap down.
Christopher Campbell back in the pits. Don't know if this is scheduled or not, but one could probably assume it's scheduled, so maybe in for tires and fuel.
Could be. But Brock Page having a dominant night here tonight, Will.
Oh, most certainly indeed. After last week, that was a tough race for everybody, and it was something. Nevertheless, it was a wacky, crazy season opener, to say the least, Brian. And this race number 2 of the 87 Throwback Cup Series season here in the B&R Racing League, is really just being another one of those typical, I would say, races that just once it gets going, it has got going. Kind of surprised that Peter didn't pit on the same pit stop or lappage that Page and Carter did, to at least be on the same tire strategy wise.
So Philip Risman gets passed by Josh Small for P8. Now with Brock lapping these cars, now Carter has all these lap cars to pick off one by one.
Yes, and he's slowly falling into the clutches of Peter there in third place in the 53 machine. I think something happened to Josh. He could have smacked the wall. He now dropped down to ninth place, now repassing Phillip. Don't know what happened back yonder way, but Campbell making his way back up. On the bottom side. I think both of them caught the wall there, but Josh worse for wear at that time. Good little battle here between the two for what would be 8th position, Brian. As you see some cars that are on fresh tires like Yates and Campbell. Yates not too many lap fresh tire, but Campbell for sure just came out of the pits as Phillip had a moment there. The car bobbled on him, the front. There's a bump right out of turn 4 that if you hit just right, it will really give you a good, like, did I just run over a small animal of some sort type of feeling, as Yates is having all sorts of problems of his own. He is finding every bump there is on this track, as it looks like now Phillip Bridgman is bringing his 97 Monte Carlo down into the pit lane.
Yes, he is.
So maybe the initial guess was right. Maybe 75 laps was right. 70, 75. I was going to say 70, 75 earlier, so...
Kyle Gooden's now in the pits.
Maybe I was going to be right. I should have just went with the gut. But I did not. Anyway. So now Richards in the 48 machine in 4th place. Joe Stipe in 5th has been lapped, so Richards is next in line in that position, but he's been about 22 seconds off the race lead for a good while now, so I'd say he's been maintaining at least, a 6-second gap fairly well now. And Peter in the 53 only has lost 2 more seconds since, the last time we really spoke about the gap. You truly don't really know who's going to be good to go here. Like, whenever Peter pits, man, say that 10 times fast. Whenever the 53 of Peter pits, I still said it anyway. Is he going to have the fresher tire? Like, is he going to be able to undercut, which he's probably going to have to undercut Page and Carter here, because like I said, I don't think no one is going to have enough fuel to make it to the end as far as the top runners go. Could the 53 have capable enough?
Now.
So what does Brock do? Is Brock and Jacob going to pit around this time, or are they going to go longer here?
Probably go a little bit longer.
I would imagine that they would, seeing how they, they were just in the pits lap 27, 26 or so. So they no reason why they can't stay out here 15, 20 more laps, right?
Correct. At least. I think they pitted under the, 3rd caution?
Yes.
Or Jacob Carter's almost. Getting caught up in that lap traffic will do it. I'll hold you up a little bit.
Well, I just don't think it was getting caught up in that lap traffic. I think he just had kind of driven the good off the tires, trying to get the lead away from Brock. Brock kind of let him, he didn't put up too much of a tussle or a fight until after, Jacob had kind of ran that shiny Goodyear good off the Goodyear Eagles here. So, like we talked about earlier about, it kind of varies from track to track or place to place with Jacob. I think this could be one of those situations where if it probably wasn't Rockingham, if it could have been a different track perhaps for Jacob, he could have possibly stayed up here with Brock. But this track really suiting Brock's driving style, just how he needs to be. And Jacob's probably setting lap times close to Brock, but it's just probably still a couple of tenths off. A tenth here, a tenth there is still enough time to open up on somebody over a period of time. So, what does Jacob do? Does Jacob stay out?
No, he's pitting with him.
So, now what does the 48 of Richards do? I would assume he comes in and pits as well.
Nope, he's staying out.
Could be trying to get a point for leading the lap there. Good tactic. And especially if he finishes in the top 5. Good points night for Richards there.
So majority of these guys got their laps back.
For now. So this is very interesting how the running order is coming out to be at the moment.
Almost contact
That's
there
about
with Campbell and Kyle.
Brian, this is about a 10-lap difference that the 53 has on the 62 and 88.
Oh, Brock
Yeah, that
loose.
was
What a save.
cold tires.
Yeah.
These cars are a completely different creature, animal, whatever you would like to call it, beast, with already performed heated up tire at a comfortable temperature, and then you go in and basically, if anybody has watched IMSA or sports car racing in the past, or even this past season, where you have already heated up tires or cars that are already normal temperature set to be running conditions, and then they come in for a new set of tires. The only place where sports cars were able to use tire warmers was Le Mans this year. Everywhere else, they weren't able to use tire warmers anymore. And it's been a big thing. Like, IMSA hasn't used tire warmers in a while. But anyway, to not be able to preheat a tire like they do in Formula One, or like they used to be able to, years ago, like that, to go out there on a cold tire that is either ambient temperature or garage temperature, I guess you could say, and It is very, very difficult. You're almost like driving on ice, or that's the best only way to describe it. On a track that's already rubbered in, but to that set of tires, it's like, no, I'm not.
So Brock
So
Page
Peter
has
back,
quite a few lap cars in front of him. Same thing with Jacob. So
just
Peter,
about to get there.
Yep, go ahead. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just letting you know I was getting there, but you go ahead, Brian.
Josh found the clutches again. Unfortunately, back to 1 lap down. As Peter gets by him. This is not for position here with Joe, so Josh is like, all right, buddy, go ahead. The 48
Another person.
and Josh are for position. They're the only two at the moment.
Yes, I was about to say Richards is the next car to battle Josh for a position. Don't know if Richards had a long stop or what happened. I think it's just the tire differential of who pitted when. Josh pitted before Richards and therefore gained some time and ground, and Richards waited, so...
Kyle Gooden looks to make the pass on Phillip as Josh is going to come down to the pits.
Aaron Bradford pitted as well here, so back to having 3 cars on the lead lap. We knew Richards was going to go a lap down, just it was probably going to happen after the pit sequence had occurred, and it has, so...
Kyle Gooden putting a hell of a fight up here with Brock. As you see there, Campbell back into the pits. As Jacob Carter gets by Phillip Bridgman there. Josh Small with a 22.6 second pit stop, Will. Campbell with a 21.9. So Campbell had a little bit of a better pit stop than Josh.
Well, these cars, you know, with these, even with the pit stops, they try to make it as realistic as possible. So you're going to see 19, 22 second pit stops, you know, in that time frame. If it's longer, I would say than 22 seconds, 23 seconds, then maybe repairing damage or you know, they could have overshot the pit box, had to back it up. Something occurred, Brian. So, yes, indeed, Campbell having a slightly faster pit stop, but in the grand scheme of things, Josh isn't really at the moment racing anyone. It looks like he's on his own lap to himself.
So lap 98 of 135.
Closing in on 35 laps to go here in just a couple of laps shortly.
Peters got a great car, Will.
Oh yeah, he's shown early on he had a great car and qualified on the pole. Like I said, if it wouldn't have been for the tire differential strategy that Brock has chosen to go down and trying to just get clean air as far as having a tire strategy difference from Peter here, I think it'd still be very close between the two.
I would have to agree.
I sure think Brock has enough pace and time, you know, to run down this just under 4-second lead on Peter and make it a more enticing race than what it is. Troubles are occurring, though. Somebody is slow. Oh, it was Kyle. Never
Oh,
mind, I got all
Josh.
excited.
Oh, and Josh dumps to 53, or tries to. That's going to be detrimental to Peter there. Ah. That's not what he needed after setting the pace on Page, and that's going to bring Page back in closer there. Oh, and Joe wipes out the 0-0. That's going to be your caution, Will. The question is, now what do you do? As we come back here and look here.
Yeah, this is either hard racing or maybe just let off lifting points are completely different. And Joe, I don't think Joe meant to do this at all, but I'm still speechless over the Josh and the leader thing. But yeah, this could be a case of just the 0-0 late. Yes, just a case of just lifting let-off points gone awry. This was a battle for, what was this, 5th position?
Yes.
This was either, I want to say it was 5th and 6th position.
Yeah.
I think this is a pure racing deal here, like the 0-0. Kind of lifts off the throttle, perhaps, getting into the corner. Maybe brakes, and Joe's just there. Oh, excuse me, pardon me, so sorry. Joe is just there, unfortunately, and lifts the back end of the 0-0 up off the ground. They were basically racing pretty hard the entire race. They've been around each other most of the race. So, don't know if there was some other type of issues occurring or had kind of flustered or what transpired, but like I said, looking at it like that, it just almost like a racing deal, kind of getting into the corner, how you would normally lift or check up or maybe trail brake into the corner. Kind of looks like all of the above, and just a driver that was in a heated battle with another and already committed and right behind.
Yeah, that's what that looked like. Just maybe different lift points. Be a lot of cars starting to the inside. Maybe about 4 cars on the outside. So
30 laps to go, give or take here.
yes, sir. 30 laps. So it'll be Peter, Brock, Carter, and Richards all on the outside. Everybody else should be starting on the inside.
Did Peter, Brock, Carter, and did they come down and get a fresh set of tires, or what happened?
No. I think they stood out. Alright, so they're lining up. Oh, they got the 48 up there, that's right.
Well, if the 48's up there, then that meant that he probably raced back to the line and got back on the tail end of the lead lap, more than likely.
I would say so.
As you can see there, tricky start on the restart there for the race leaders.
Caution is out again. Don't know what for.
That's a big help to the 48, who was trying to be awful racy. Oh, the one here of Yates. Something occurred here. He's had problems all evening going through 1 and 2. This is the restart here. Oh, so everybody accordions up into turn 1 on the bottom lane, because it's just kind of how turn 1 entry is, especially if you kind of are already in that crocodile effect. And he makes some evasive maneuvers to avoid slamming into the back of who was at the 00, and in doing so, wipes up the track in front of Philip. Philip kind of wipes him out, kind of spins him out a little bit, kind of helps him out there a little bit, but one of those chain reaction type of things, nobody can really do. They're no fault of no one's own, really, just trying to check up so you don't really slam into the back of the people in front of you there that turned in for the corner.
So from 5th down to 8th is all on the same lap.
Yep, that's going to be an interesting battle for 5th position there. Bridgman, Small, Wigginton, Stipe, all on the same lap like you talked about, so all pretty quick and fast within their own right, and they're going to have like 19 laps here to settle it amongst themselves for that 5th position. Looks like 18 laps. I think these caution laps are really helping out Peter there in the 53 machine. He's loving every second of this. As much as this race can keep going caution, he's like, hey, I'm back in the lead. You know, the tire differential isn't looking too bad at the moment.
I would say a solid ice field tonight, Will, for the amount as came up. Always good to have the action, which is what we enjoy, so...
I wouldn't say if it's nice or not. I don't know if anybody likes or enjoys getting crashed. But I get what you mean, Brian, yes. Just messing with you.
It is 25 laps to go.
I was ahead of myself, wasn't I? Indeed I was. I was saying 19 earlier. Just a moment ago, I should say. Need to go back to kindergarten and learn how to recount from my backwardsness, I guess. So that's a lot of cars in that inside lane that this outside few cars on the outside will have to navigate about. Hopefully just stay up top. That pace car is going to make that left-hand turn down the embankment into pit road. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 14 degrees of banking here. 15, something like that.
Yes, sir. Green flag is back out here.
And Peter with a really good jump, hole shot jump on that restart, getting up and away to a sizable, I would say that's about at least a second lead, maybe a second and a quarter over Brock Page. Jacob Carter has a car in between him and Richards in the 48 machine. So he can kind of worry about trying to chase down Brock.
High Rock vodka paint. Looks pretty shabby.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It's a
Yep.
nice teal.
So Joe Stipe, Campbell, Yates, all on the pits. Oh, 94 hits the wall.
Joe Stipe ain't in the pits.
There he is.
Joe Stipe is not in the pits.
There he is.
Now, now he is. He wasn't a while ago when you first said that. He was not in the pits.
So Josh Small trying to wrap the outside lane, watching others do it. He gets it clear there by the 00 of Wigginton.
That's 6th and 7th place.
$20 laps to go here, Will.
Brock Page only a half a second back off the race leader now, Peter and the 53 machine. Like you say, 20 laps to go. Closing laps here of this race.
So Peter, Page, Carter, and Richards. Coming to 18 laps to go this time by. As Brock Page sets his eyes on Peter, Will. If I'm Peter, do you play the defense line?
Well, you know the driver behind you has a little bit slightly fresher tires. And Peter's kind of gotten kicked out sideways here and there. So
as we see here, Will, Brock is able to carry a little bit more speed through the turns than Peter. But Peter gets that good run off the turn, not by much, by a little bit.
yeah, Peter's trying to really arc it into the corner and leave at least a half a lane off of the bottom to a lane off the bottom in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, it's more so a half a lane. Brock now looking to the inside of Peter in 3 and 4, going to the inside of the 53 machine. He's going to have a good run off the corner, and he's going to have that. Now, Peter with a crossover of his own. Oh, wow.
That was getting interesting. Oh no. Where the yellow came from. Just says yellow flag. So I don't know if it happened back here or... There it was. Bradford got into the back of the 00. 68 loses it, so that's what it was. That's a Peter pit and Richards pit. There you go. Get them freshies. Let's see, who can we talk to? We'll try Bradford. Bradford.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's pretty bad, man.
I
What you want to do there? Did you want some donuts with your coffee?
No, I'm pretty sure my nose was in there and he came down on me.
Oh, okay, 10-4. We were just looking at it, reviewing, just saying.
Oh, you good, man?
Just saying what done happen, you know, and
Yeah.
just wanted your take in on it. So just you were there, he came down. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, why we're trying to block, like that in the back of the pack, but, it is what it is.
Well, other besides that, how's the race been going for you? What all you been struggling with besides getting caught up in other people's shenanigans?
I feel like it's plowing real bad going in every corner. Once I get into the corner, if I can get the car to set, halfway through it'll rotate coming out. But going in initially, it's just scooting the front end, and I've been fighting that all night.
So, have you been trying to back your corners up at all, Aaron?
Yeah, I've been trying it, and you got everybody else's braking zones are different, and
yeah, that's true.
Trying not to do it, trying to back it up and not get ran over at the same time is kind of hard. But that's what I've been trying to do.
What about like your turning in? Like, have you tried to arc it or maybe diamond? Maybe run a bit higher line. Have you tried the high line?
I haven't tried the high line because when I ran it in practice, it was not very good for me. It kept on getting into the wall. But if I can hit the bottom lane right, I can have a good drive off on the bottom, and I'm really liking the bottom. So that's kind of where I've been sticking at.
Well, best of luck to you, Aaron. You might get a top 10 out of it after all said and done. Good luck, Aaron.
Appreciate it, guys.
No problem. So, well,
he didn't want any donuts, that's for sure.
that is. So now the freshest one on the tires here is Peter. At 12 laps to go. The problem is, can Peter finesse his way through?
Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a shootout here as Brock's going to lead him back to the green flag. He's going to get a hole shot here. Good jump on the field. He's already got almost a second lead on the field already. That's a half a second right there, one would have to say. So, like you say, these lead lappers having to fight.
There it is. That's not what needs to happen. Peter got involved in that. Very unfortunate. A late block had gone wrong there. As we watch here. You see Peter was coming off. Oh, that was a missed time by Pete. Very unfortunate doing there. He thought he could clear it, but just quite couldn't get there. And Joe became the victim of circumstances at that point.
Spot on. I think Peter was just trying to pull out a line to pass Joe, but the closing rate, you're going kind of so quick with these cars. These cars can go so quick, so fast. You kind of just lose the closing rate speed in the back of your mind. And he had fresh tires, like you talked about. He went in. He was you talked about it before they went back green. He was the freshest car on new tires. So we were going to see and hopefully watch his way back up through the field. But
now we got Richards, the next car on freshest.
Just a mistiming incident. It can happen whether you're trying to pass whoever it may be. We just saw it there. Like I don't think no one did anything wrong. It was just mistiming, really. Coincidences, just.
Yes, I'll agree with you. But these cars, they don't realize how much speed that they carry. It's nothing like your next gen. So,
Well, truly, like if someone bobbles or not necessarily bobbles, but say they're just going to get in that gap. They have time and space to get there, but just like I talked about the closing rate with fresh tires and everything, like that's just something to also think about there in that situation. I mean, it looks like 53 of Peter. He's going to be able to come out. He got a fast repair. He's still on the lead lap.
yes, so he might have another shot at it, Will. But these guys also have to remember there are no green-white checkers here. So if the race ends under that caution, then the race is going to end under caution. So, and the pace lights are off. Uh-oh. Where'd Carter go? There he is. Oof, that's right. If it's under a certain amount of laps, everybody starts on the outside. Oof.
Well, no, if it's under 10 to go, like the lap down cars start behind the lead lap
That's
cars.
it. Okay, you're right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It is. That's what they're doing. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
So Brock Page, Carter Richards, and Peter.
So let's see this time what's going to transit the. Oh, look at that Budweiser billboard back there. Anyway, so pace car is off to the confines pit road. Oh wow, look at that. So Peter couldn't really get a good launch there. Brock really kind of slowed him way down before the restart, trying to not let nobody get a jumper. And oh no! I think Peter might have had a nose on the 48 machine of Richards. I think he might have been there.
I think so. Going into 3.
He's getting there. Looking back at the replay as we turn in for the corner, he wasn't quite there yet, but he was trying to be. I wouldn't say he had a nose to start the overlap there right as they turned into the corner, but he was trying to get there, that's for sure. But a late block, one would say, possibly for the 48 of Richards, could possibly just have gone awry, trying to keep that third position.
Good job with locking her down for sure. And I think this is where it might end, Will.
Yes, indeed, have to agree with you on that. I think this will end the race. So, 8th caution of this evening.
Unless if I can get it down to where... No, they actually might have duke it out for 3 laps. Or 2 laps.
Well, lights are still on the Ford Mustang iRacing pace car. So,
I would say overall very exciteful race. Who knows? They might get it with 2 to go. Is what I'm thinking. I guess we'll just wait and see.
I mean, overall, I'd have to say it was a good race.
Oh, absolutely. They had a nice green flag run in. For sure, a couple of green flag pit stops along the way. A lot better than last week, so I can applaud them very well. So, well, we'll see this time by if they'll be coming. It'll probably literally be like a lap shootout.
I don't think it will.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Oh, well.
Yep. So they're going to have a lap to get it done.
Alright, if a caution comes out, race is over, right?
Yes.
Man, oh man. So, really have Peter here, the pole sitter of the race, who probably really wants to get back to the lead, no doubt about it. So, literally a lap here to settle it. It will be who will get the win here this evening. Pace car pulls off yet again. And Brock goes. So, white flag is up in the air. Next time battle will be the checkered flag. Who will see it first is the question, as there's a fight for third place going on behind him. Look at Peter getting alongside the 53 there. Look at that. Almost doorsing going into turn 3. He could have. But anyway, back to the race lead. Who's it going to be at the stripe? It's Brock Page, I do believe. Or was it Carter? Was it Page?
Brock Page got it.
So congratulations to Brock Page, winning here this evening by 4 1/1000ths of a second over Jacob Carter. Carter tried to get him back out of the high side coming out of turn 4, but just couldn't get there at the end. Back-to-back wins here to kick off the 87 winter season. B&R Racing League Thursday night madness here, B&R 87 series.
Yep. So, I would say awesome run by everybody.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like it you know, 16 drivers started this race. It was almost starting to become a race of attrition, or early going already. Like we knew this was going to be tough for the drivers. I don't think the schedule, no doubt about it, is easy one way or another. As we see here, the final race results. Brock Page, Jacob Carter, Peter Cementai. Sorry for butchering your name there, pal. My apologies. Robert Richards in 4th position. Philip Bridgman rounds out the top 5 in 5th. Huck Wigington Easy for me to say, totally. And 6th position, Josh Small. 7th, Joe Stipe. Comes home in 8th position. Aaron Bradford, 9th. Chris Campbell, 10th position. Kyle Gooden comes back to finish 11th. Craig Bridge in 12th. Paul Lawson in 13th. Brandon Yates in 14th, Daryl Whitford in 15th, and Chris Camary finishes in 16th out of the 16 starters. So let's
We're gonna wait and see if we can get Peter in for a moment. If not, then we'll bring up Mr. Jacob.
10-4.
We'll give it one moment.
But yes, like you alluded to, like you talked about, I'd have to agree. It was a pretty good race. We saw some really heated battles all throughout. There was not a dull moment in this race. It was quite hard to call at times because you just, you didn't know correctly what to say about it. You didn't know if it was, just by the way they were already racing is what I'm trying to get at. Like they were going at it extremely hard this evening. Next week is sure to be another challenge in and of itself.
Yep.
We'll
Well, Peter's not in here, so we'll go ahead and we'll talk with Jacob for the moment.
Grab Jacob by the collar and be like, howdy doody.
Yes, we'll sit there and grab Jacob by his big ears and pull him up here.
Hell yeah.
Jacob. Oh, no. This is... Anyway, Jacob, so you come up a little bit short there at the end. It just turned out to be a one-lap shootout. I wanted to go to the bathroom and do something, but I did not. Anyway, so... second place here, you had a little bit of sprinkling of hope whenever you kind of got the lead away from Brock there, and then Brock got you back. It was a little bit. I wouldn't say you just didn't have that longevity that Brock does here. Maybe if Brock wasn't in the field tonight, you more than likely probably would have won, but. Tell us about all together, Jacob, how your night went, and possibly what you were struggling with.
Car was great. When I passed Brock, my pace was a little bit up, so once he caught back up to me, my tires were done for, and then, I think that's Peter, right? That's how you say it, Peter? Anywho, Peter got close to me, and I knew that was a no-no. So I started hitting my marks, trying to get right, and I kind of stayed in between 6 seconds between Brock and then about 2 seconds in between Peter. Then the caution flew. So I was like, yay, big break, cool. Went down, got my last set of tires. Peter had one more set after that. So I told Brock, I was like, man, if we get another caution, he's gonna go down to the pits and he's gonna kill us. And so yep, caution came out. Sure enough, about what was it, like 10, 15 laps later?
You talking about towards the end?
Yeah, when
it was
we
like
had
maybe
a little bit
7 to go, I do believe, because I think that's when Peter got into the back of Wigginton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gave you guys that one little lap shootout there.
Yeah. Like I told Brock, he had his crew chief going, I don't think Jake will wreck you. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna wreck you. That high side's good for me. I was like, you stick it on the bottom, I stick it up top, and we'll race to the finish. And got into a wall, and I'm surprised it didn't hold me. So as soon as I got into the wall, it spit me back out, and I was like, ooh, still got momentum. So I dove down the track, trying to get more momentum, and it just wasn't enough. It
Now,
wasn't enough.
The other question is, I'm gonna ask for you. If you had at least another lap, if you would have got to at least the rear of Jacob, yes, at least to the rear of yourself, to the rear of Brock, would you have made like a little hey buddy bump and done that, or would you just let Brock have at it and just let Brock take it?
Nah, one more lap, I would have went up high and I would have got him for sure. He's been loving that bottom. I love the top on 3 and 4, so kind of give him a mix. And I'm faster up top. He's faster on bottom. And I think he was struggling with 3 and 4 all night. So when I started moving up at the top and started getting runs on him, I knew his weak suit. So 3 and 4 was his weak suit, and then just like I said, if I had one more lap, I probably would have gave it my all, and I would have been at the bottom of the track that time, and
Right.
I'm good on the bottom of 1 and 2, and then I probably would have killed him on 3 and 4, and we would have. It would have been a different outcome if that made sense, but I wouldn't have wrecked him for it. I know.
You probably would have banged the little doors and try to get it back to the line. Is probably what you're saying.
Oh, for sure. I was going to try to bump him going down, but if I would have bumped him, it would have been so much momentum. It would have killed him and then possibly kill me. So
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm just gonna stick to the apron.
Because I know you and I know Brock. Brock's very aggressive, but that's what makes Brock a hell of a freaking driver. That's
for sure.
Same thing with you. You both can finesse the wheels behind any car you get into. I don't know. Really haven't seen Brock on too many road course races and all that other stuff too as well. But I know you two can put on a hell of a show towards the end, finessing your guys' way through traffic. So that's always a plus
Oh
on
man,
that
traffic.
end. Yeah, I'm sure traffic was hell. Anyway, which leads to the next question. Go ahead, Will.
What was the next question?
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
God.
Well, then I'll do it. But anyway, so Mr. Carter, the other question was so how difficult was it to finesse your way through all that lap traffic? I know it sucked, especially on the pitch and then coming out and all that other fazzy stuff.
Well, when you get like myself and me and Brock, when you get two guys on kind of better, I wouldn't say better tires because everybody had crap tires at the time. When you have kind of better tires than everybody else, finessing your way is kind of not a challenge. So like they have to get off the gas a lot sooner than we can, and so us going up high and riding the wall around them wasn't too difficult, if that makes any sense. And then coming out of the pits, it was a breeze. Like I was trying to keep my distance in between people, so I wouldn't get caught up in my own little scenario. It's just if you know how to maneuver around these guys, piece of cake. But 42 was having a difficult time out there. Bless his heart. But
Yeah.
I just told him, I was like, run your line, I'll run my line. Try to stay at the bottom if you see me, and I'll just go right around you. And he did. He stuck to his word. He'd either get on the apron or he'd be at the bottom of the track. So I just go right around him. And then you got some guys like Kyle, and he's like, hey man, just go around me. I'm going to go up top. You're going to go on the bottom. Bygones be bygones, boom.
Yeah. So
Well, anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race? I mean, it's back-to-back, decent finishes for, yourself and Brock there, it looks like. You ran pretty decent at Daytona, and then this week you follow it back up with a second place at Rockingham here. So, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add there, Jacob?
Final thoughts, track was great. It was bumpy. I don't know if you came in and was like, hey, how's the track? But, my
apologies.
Huh? You didn't go in there?
No, my apologies. I came in late. My apologies, yes.
Oh, no, you're fine. just the bottom of the track's bumpy, and then once you go to the middle, it's smooth. So like the bumps kind of help settle the car, and then once it's smooth, the car didn't like it. I don't know. It just shoved in the corner. So, shout out to Brock. You know, Brock's been putting up with my bullshit. Anywho.
All right. Well, catch you next week, Jacob. Thanks for
No,
talking.
I wasn't
to
done.
me.
I wasn't done.
Congratulations. Yeah, not next week. The week.
You hush
The
your
week
face,
after
Will.
next. We're off next week. Thanksgiving, all that jazzy stuff for the holiday, and
Kick him out of this
everybody can
interview.
watch the
I don't want to talk to him no more.
Thanksgiving Day parade and all that good jazz.
Why don't
Turkey
you
and
finish
ham
doing
or
your shout
whatever
outs
the.
besides saying that BS?
BS.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on now.
So shout out to Brock for racing McLean. I guess I'll shout out Dennis, kind of maneuvering our way in pit stops. Shout out to y'all coming out here and putting up with our BS. And
Goodness gracious.
Oh,
You can't
Carter.
just say stuff.
huh? At least that's better, right? It was PG-13, right?
Yeah, but you can't just say stuff or just keep. Anyway, yeah, thanks for talking to us, Brandon. Congratulations on a good run that
Brandon,
P2, and
that's Jacob.
hopefully, I did say Jacob. I said Jacob.
Oh, you said Brandon.
Lie.
I
You
said
said Brandon.
Jacob.
You said
No,
Brandon.
there's
You got
no
Brandon
real
on your
evidence.
mind. Which
No,
one?
I-
LaHillier, or you got the other one?
I don't know who La Jolla is, but
Oh, don't you lie.
anyway, so you have a good night.
Tell me truthfully.
Tell you what? What are you talking about?
What you got on your mind?
Anyway,
which one you
Dude,
got?
I've got
poor
so many
Brock's
names
waiting.
in my head. Leave me alone.
Brock's got all night. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Brock has to go to bed. So, alright, I'll quit messing
Yeah,
with you.
Come on, Joshy Jr.
Well, we'll talk to you after, Jacob.
Alright. I guess
Alright.
I'll leave Will alone. Love you, Will. Love you, Brian.
Love you too, bro.
We love you too, buddy.
See y'all.
Yep.
See you, man.
He's another one that can be hard to get away.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, that sounds inappropriate, so I won't say that. Anyway,
Mr. Page,
Fine.
about time.
Yes.
We try to get Jacob out of the booth, but
yeah, but you gotta beat him off with a stick.
Yeah, it's always good at doing is talking.
I mean, hey, he. Anyway, so yes, Brock, tonight, it seemed like once you finally got in once you finally got in clean air,
Good man.
you know, you right. Anyway, so once you were stuck behind Peter. I hope that's his name. There, he sat on the pole. He qualified on pole. So he led the opening stanza of this race. We had a couple of breeding cautions incident. They wanted to multiply like rabbits out there, but after you kind of got off tire strategy from Peter, that seemed like that was what you kind of needed to get in the lead of this race, get that clean air, and we had a decent green flag run, and then towards the end again, they just, I don't know what transpired, but anyway, here we are. We're setting to you. You're in victory lane. Thanks for parking over there. Nice little photo op there. But the race, man, one lap shootout. Like, tell us about the race at the end of the race. Maybe the struggles that you might have been dealing with, even though it looked like it was another Drab and Miss Daisy drive for you this evening, Brock.
Well, first of all, Jacob didn't have a shot. He only got there because he knocked the wall down in turn 3 and just floored it. But anyway,
Same move.
yeah. No, it was a fun race. I'm irritated with a few things that happened. I know I stayed clean and green.
Get back to it.
I know I stayed clean and green on my end, but there's just certain ways that people are racing, and it's just going to cause issues later on down the line, and I'm not... This could be so much fun, and it was fun tonight, but if people keep doing what they were doing tonight, it's going to turn into a problem, and it's going to turn into a wreck fest. I was going to use another word, but I don't know if that's PG-13 or not.
Yeah, that's fine. That's dandy. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. There was some questionable moments that I just had to I was speechless. I agree with you. Like you don't quite know what to say, so you just kind of like that old saying: if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing
I'm
at
slowly
all.
learning that, but enough of that
Um,
stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, I loved it. I love this track. This is one of my good tracks. Thanks, Jake. I don't need thumbs anyways. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun race. This track's always fun for me. I was a little nervous because I'm not good in this car, but Rockingham's Rockingham. You just kind of gotta. You do have to drive the car differently. You can't, you can't drive it like a next gen or a Gen 6. You gotta really, you gotta finesse this car, and I love it. It brings the driver out in people. It's a lot of fun saving tire, not really even saving tires, just not abusing them. I don't know if y'all rode along with me at all during that green flag run, but
We did quite a few times.
a video of Harvick at Atlanta. He's lifting at the Legends track and not even getting back in it till the exit of 2. That was the mentality. I was lifting at the rock sign coming out of the little trial there, and I mean I wasn't back in it until 3/4 and out of turn 2. So I mean, I like these races where you're off throttle and you actually got to drive the car. I think after we run this series and another Cup series, I think we ought to do a Gen 4 league. But anyways, that's another conversation.
There was talks about it.
And I understand why you did this one. It's a nice change. But, the Gen 4 would be hard because, no disrespect, but a lot of people can't drive those cars. So, and if you want a good turnout, I feel like this is another good way to go. People love these cars, and I don't blame them.
Either way, they still have too much horsepower for some people.
Yeah, and that's entirely true.
That's what you were alluding to. I know. Come on now.
Shout out. I want to give a shout out to somebody. The 42. He was very, out of it in practice. He wanted to leave. I'm glad he stayed in here for as long as he did. He did a great job of staying out of the way when we got to him. Some of the other guys, not so much. I almost got walled a few times by him. Shout out to Paul, man. I'm glad he stuck in there. And everybody ran pretty good tonight, but I would like to talk to Brian, whether it be over text or in here, about a few things. But
that's fine. After the broadcast goes down, I can talk to you and Jacob if you need it. That's fine.
I'd like to talk to you by myself. I don't need that clown in there.
Hold on, wait. I see the cover. I know he's going to call him a clown. Because sometimes Carter can always be a clown when he races. I raced with him out on track plenty of times. So, I'm going to have to agree with Brock on that one.
But
we can do that.
Shout out to y'all.
Thank you,
Brian, and for putting this on. It's giving me something to do on Thursdays. Which is kind of odd because with my job I have now, I have to actually be up early tomorrow morning to be in Nashville. But, this is, that's going to be probably an every week thing. Getting that overtime money.
Hey,
but,
take it. The holidays are coming.
Yes, sir. But, shout out to you guys. Jake did run a good race. He kept it clean. I told him in that run because I let him by, and then following him into turn 1, I'm out of the gas for like probably about a second before he is. I could see the flame coming out, and I waited until I passed him, and I said, "Jake, you're driving in too hard." And then
he was.
I knew it was bad because Peter had not pitted, and he ran Jake back down. So Jake burned his stuff up quick, and other than that, I would shout out to Dennis. He made the pit calls for us. Jake's trying to take credit for that, but Jake didn't do jack nothing.
That's why I thought, and that's why I asked and anything. I'm like, do you have a spotter? Which I kind of figured Dennis was probably going to be there.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in here every week now because he was in here last week too, and I won. So
that's a good job. Hell yeah, Dennis, you're doing a good job for Brock.
He is. He made the right pit call.
Dennis the Menace being the lucky charm.
We were actually down a set of tires, and he pitted right there with like 10 to go or something. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, yeah, this is it. Because we lapped up to 4th place. So I was like, he's just going to restart at 3rd. He's going to be right there. And then I don't know what happened to him. But, yeah, man, I'm just I'm ready to go swallow melatonin and go to bed, but I gotta talk to you first, so I'm gonna
That's
let you
fine.
finish this up. I'm gonna go grab a drink, run to the bathroom, so you got a little bit of time. Which channel do you want me to jump in real quick? Is there a holler channel in here?
I think there is. Yeah, there is on the bottom there, underneath all this stuff. But anyway, I want to say congratulations to you, sir. A hell of a job by you. You survived a lot of this stuff, and you worked your ass off. You worked your rear end off for the win. So enjoy your week off. Go spend time with the family, and then we'll see you the following week after that at Iowa. So.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again.
Yep. In a matter of fact, I'll just move you down there.
All right, that works. Thank you.
No problem, buddy. Anyway, Will, I would say what a fantastic race here tonight in the 87 side of things. I would say pretty fair turnout. You know, we've seen some action. We see some ups and downs by most drivers. Some things need to be fixed on and other things like that. But overall, Will, I would say I'm pretty satisfied with the turnout of tonight. And how about yourself?
Yes, indeed, I'd have to agree with that as well. Like, you know, full on agree with what you said. You know, things could be different here and there, and but I am as well pleased with the turnout and everything that we saw here tonight. The racing in general as well, and at times looked really promising and good. So at times it looked very questionable, but you know, there's things to learn from, move forward with, and hopefully improve on. So that's what we're going to try to aim to do, and hopefully improve on. So,
Yes,
like you
absolutely.
said,
It's
we're off next week,
Yep.
and then week after that we're at Iowa, pick it back up after Thanksgiving, and hopefully to see everybody tuning in at Iowa in 2 weeks' time. Until then, everybody have hopefully a good and safe night.
Yes, everybody have a safe Thanksgiving, and once again, like Will said, we'll talk to you guys later.